And welcome back, my friends, to BjjBrick Quick. This is Byron. Had a few episodes so far about my time in Tanzania, hiking up Kilimanjaro. Got a few more to go for you, my friends. Hope you enjoy them. Our hike up Kilimanjaro, we took the Lemosho route. It's 8 days. It's about 6.5 days to get to the top, and then a day and a half to get down to the bottom. I think it was like night 3 that we had 2 guides, and one of our guides got sick, and he didn't complain one bit about being sick on day 3. So I don't know if it happened in the middle of the night or if he was kind of feeling crummy and just kind of hit it a little bit, but it got bad enough to where he needed to go down and they said go to the hospital. I don't know if that's go see a doctor. I don't know if that's just, bed rest. It sounded like every time somebody talked about getting sick, they talked about the hospital. So I don't really know what that meant, but we were told he's got to go down, and they arranged it with a park ranger, and he had to hike a couple of miles, and he got picked up by a vehicle. And now here we are. We're supposed to do this hike with 2 guides and some porters, and now we're short a guide. And our guide said, "Hey, we're fine." Yeah, I know, that's what we have too, that sort of thing. And we're going to keep going, and if you guys feel good, we're going to push on up to the top. All right, well, that's cool, and that's ultimately what happened. Is the one guide managed to take us up there, and he made some changes. He kind of promoted on the spot one of the porters, somebody who just typically carries things, and he became a summit porter. So he didn't plan on going to the top of the mountain. He planned on getting to base camp, and everybody stays at base camp while us and the guides go to the top. And now this guy is going to go to the top, and he had been to the top over 50 times, and not the hugest of deals for him, but he didn't plan on it, and now he's going. And that was a good adaptation, a good kind of a change on the fly, and maybe he's done this a bunch of times. But, thinking about jiu-jitsu, this is a podcast roughly about jiu-jitsu. There's always going to be stuff that you can't control. And our health and our bodies are a big one, but there are so many things outside of that even that you don't have control over. And so if you're going to compete, or you have a certain training regimen or something going on at work or whatever's going on, stuff's going to happen. And how are you going to deal with that? And it could be a week before competition, and you have a sprained ankle. Are you going to tape it up and get out there and do your best, or would you rather not go out there and only be a fraction of what you're capable of doing? I think, having these conversations with a coach and maybe your loved ones and maybe, a plane ticket, you're going to some bigger tournament and everything's already paid for. You paid for it, your own hard money, and you can't get that back. Do you still go and try to compete, or go and watch and support your teammates? I don't know. These are personal things that you have to do sometimes, but it's just, that's life. Stuff is going to happen that isn't, part of the plan. That guide had planned on going to the top of the mountain. I'm sure that his failure to complete the hike probably cost him some money as far as his employment goes. There's no sort of... I was telling about how we have in the United States like a little bit of a social safety net. If you lose your job, you could get some money for it. And I really made it simple. And they thought that was crazy. And like, oh, that's interesting. So if I lose my job today, I'm not homeless tomorrow. And so, if you don't work, you don't make money. There's so many uncontrollables in life. If you're a gym owner, it could be a broken pipe, or no electricity, or half the team gets up and goes to a different gym, or you've made some mistakes and stuff is happening. You just have to, I think the best thing to do with any sort of uncontrollable is to face it and to deal with a new reality, and not to, put your head in the sand like an ostrich would, although that's not true, and try to ignore the danger. You have to, face reality and try to deal with the best you can and mitigate any negative effects. And it would be like taping your ankle is trying to mitigate any further damage or pain. And do you want to take some pain relievers to help you get through the match, or is that going to end up doing you more harm? Does your opponent just jump right on the ankle? I could tell them, hey, I've got a bum ankle. I understand you want to win, but if you have any way to submit me other than my ankle, I'd appreciate that. But do you not want to ask for like a little bit of mercy from your opponent? You want the best out of them. If I've never been in a real serious competition, but if somebody said, hey, please don't ankle lock my right ankle, I would not ankle lock that ankle. It's, but if it had been a big part of my game and they approached me with that, I'm like, man, that's half of my jiu-jitsu is ankle locks. I'm going, I can't throw that out of my game. That's understandable as well. But anyway, just kind of thought this was an interesting thing that happened. One of our guides got sick. Somebody who is supposed to take us to the top of the mountain failed to do so. And that was a little intimidating while we were on the mountain, but we got through it, and he is fine. We saw him when we got down. He was there waiting to greet us at the gate, is what they call it, where we exit the trail. So if you want to support the podcast, you could go check us out on Patreon or download our audiobook, Your First Year of BJJ. Go to BjjBrick.com, and there's a store. It'll be in there. It's about 2.5 hours long, and it will help guide you through your first year of jiu-jitsu. Hope you have a great day today. Don't get sick. Don't come off the mountain. Hopefully your uncontrollables are quite manageable. And stay sweaty, my friend.